people, we the people would like you to know that wherever you go, we're right by your side.
Last week on We the People, it was Black History Month, and I highlighted some amazing millennials who are doing great things to make history today. On today's episode of We the People, I sit down with children's book author Rachel Ruiz. She wrote the book When Penny Met POTUS. Let's talk to her about some of her inspirations and her process of writing, as well as some advice that she has for future and aspiring authors.
My name is Rachel Ruiz. I'm a TV producer and writer, and I'm a new children's book author. My first book, When Penny Met POTUS, was released July of 2016, and I was inspired to write the book after working for President Obama's re-election campaign in 2012. My daughter, Macy, was 3 years old at the time, and she became fascinated with the word POTUS. And it's just kind of a funny word, I think. And so when I would come home from work, she would ask me 20 questions about POTUS. There was no magic formula or secret process. Shortly after the campaign, I sat down and over the course of about 3 weeks, I pounded out the manuscript for my first children's picture book. That wasn't hard at all. I was very inspired, to write the book. The hard part was finding a publisher. That took about 3 years. Ever since I was a kid, I was writing and illustrating my own stories. So I did, actually. It's funny because I kind of put that dream on the back burner, didn't think it was ever going to happen. But my daughter at the time of the campaign was 3, so I was reading a lot of picture books to her at the time. So that combined with the inspiration that I got working for President Obama and my daughter's questions just kind of all like the stars just, aligned. And, I love doing, bookstore visits, story time events and school visits. That's my favorite library visits because that's when I really get to interact with the kids and their parents. And that's when I hear firsthand how the book is, being received and what the kids are responding to in the book and what they enjoy most about it. So that's really rewarding for me. That's honestly the best part of this whole process. As a first-time author, I feel very lucky to be working with Capstone Young Readers, which is my current publisher, because for Capstone, it's very important to promote diversity and inclusion and kindness in children's books. They really want children to be able to see themselves in the books that they're reading and being read. And those things are very important to me too, so I feel very lucky that I get to be able to write books that reflect those ideals and that I'm getting to work with. Capstone is giving me the ability to be able to do that, so it's great. So what I hope kids take away from When Penny Met POTUS in particular is that they can be whatever they dream to be, that they should dream big, the sky's the limit. The things that's so near and dear to me about this book is that when Penny finds out that the president is a woman, she's not at all surprised by that fact. She's just disappointed that it's human. But I mean, the fact that she's a woman, it's, not surprising to her, and I hope that in the future that's a reality. I have 2 more books coming out. Actually, 6 more books coming out later this year, but 2 of them are nonfiction. They're for my publisher, Capstone Young Readers, and they're for a series that Capstone does called Leaders Doing Headstands. They've done Martin Luther King and Amelia Earhart and Thomas Edison. So the 2 that I just wrote for them, one is about Rosa Parks and one is about Hillary Clinton, and it really focuses on their childhoods, and there's stories in each book that kind of foretell the leaders that they would become. It kind of shows the traits that they, would later play a big role in shaping them as leaders. So my advice for aspiring authors that aren't quite sure how to get started is to just start writing. That is the hardest part, honestly. Just start writing, and once you feel you have a solid or pretty close to solid manuscript, share it with people. Get their feedback. It's not always to hear criticism about your work, but it's important. It makes you a better writer. And then once you feel that you have your manuscript in pretty good shape, start sending it out. Start querying agents and publishers, and don't give up. It took me 3 years to find a publisher for my book, so it's possible. It can happen. So you just have to keep at it.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as we talked with my friend Rachel about her book, When Penny Met POTUS. Once again, this book is on sale and is a great addition to any child's library in school, in a classroom, or even at home, and I encourage everyone to go and purchase it. Two of the great things that I took away from this interview was one, that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. As Rachel dreamt of being an author since she was a child and took a different turn of careers, she returned back to that love and now has a published book and 6 more on the way. It's never too late to accomplish a goal. And once you accomplish that goal, make another one to continue to better yourselves. And then finally, for aspiring authors, we just have to get started. I know myself, I plan to write a book one day and have many friends who are interested or who have written books. And I think it's always the hardest just to start. Just do it. That's my motto for 2017. Whatever it is that I want to accomplish, just do it. Please follow us on social media, on Twitter and Facebook at Be Hopeful People, as well as on YouTube at We The People. Join us next week as I sit down with my good friend Torian and talk about travel. He's a flight attendant with Delta Airlines. As always, remember to be hopeful, people. Until next time, peace.